Hey everyone, how are you? Happy and blessed Friday. This time was to be spent with Dana, but Dana has a sore throat and some yuckiness going on. So we will be rescheduling that show, and that's going to be a good one. That is going to be a really great conversation. But I wanted to hop on here for just a bit. I thought I'd share 4 things that produced exponential growth for me inside my business in 2021. Just 4 things. So this will be a short one, but take notes because I want you to see if these 4 things might be able to help you move your business in significant ways, even by June, even in this first couple of quarters. Okay, the first thing that allowed me to produce significantly more revenue and do it in a way that felt really good was that I focused on simplicity. Simplicity. That is a hallmark to everything that I do. And it's because I'm really living it out and I see how focusing on simplicity, it simplifies everything, right? So when I say simplicity, I mean, I looked at everything inside my business from the offers. Like, do I need a whole, offer suite? Some gurus out there say you do. Well, don't always think you have to listen to everything. The gurus that have millions of followers and they're making, 10 million and more a year, what they say you should do or need to do may not work for you. It may not, right? So for me, I choose to have a lean and mean business. I want high profitability. I don't want an army of employees. I want a few key employees. So for me, simplicity. Okay. So simplifying my offers. Right now I have one signature offer. It's my Joyful Scaling Mastermind. I'm going to be opening the doors next week for another round of ladies to start. That is kind of where I am decided to put my business into less offers, but me showing up more for those clients in a more limited, more manageable number of offers, if that makes sense. Okay. So my mastermind, that is my higher ticket right now. That is a one-on-one basically with me delivered in a group setting. And so my clients inside the mastermind get a lot of access to me, right? Weekly trainings, constantly, 24/7 basically inside the Facebook group. We meet together live in April and November. So there's lots of access and strategy direct from me. I know my clients and I know their businesses. So that was important for me. So I very much streamlined my offer suite, for lack of a better word. Okay. Then I also simplified the doing, right? So I eliminated what I don't need to do. And first, let's put it this way. You brain dump everything. If you feel like, and I know a lot of you do, if you feel like you're doing too much, probably because you are, right? And if you feel like you are running out of time every day and the to-do list just ever grows and the projects just keep not being finished, maybe you need to do that. Take the time to brain dump what you're doing, because as a CEO, we really have to get out of our own way and stop being the cork, the cog in the wheel, right? So, I wrote out what was I doing that I really didn't need to do. If a guru told me to do something, post 5 times a day, I wasn't doing that. Or be everywhere and do it all. I said, no, I'm not doing it. So what are you doing that maybe you really don't need to do? And in the way of marketing, do you track what you're doing to know what the ROI is, to even determine if it's something that it makes sense to continue to do? But anyway, I'm digressing a bit. So eliminate what you don't need to do. Okay. And then as for what you believe you still need to do, or that needs to be done rather, if you believe something still needs to be done inside your business, then you've got to determine if it's something I need to do, or is it something that I could and probably should delegate to others. Okay. So the number one thing that I did that produced really exponential growth in my business last year was simplification. And isn't that a beautiful thing? Isn't that a breath of fresh air? Right? It's not doing more. In fact, it's figuring out what I can take off my plate. what I can take off of the business's plate, what it doesn't even need to be done at all. Okay. So simplification. Okay. The second thing that I did that produced exponential growth last year was, and this really is the number one thing, faith. Faith. I run my business intentionally as a faith-filled person, right? Jesus Christ-filled person. And as I do that, I'm creating a faith-fueled business, not just faith-based. My faith fuels my business, okay? Built on the truth of God's holy and perfect word. And I'm running the business in a way that is worthy of me being known as a Christ-centered person and my business being a Christ-centered business, right? And producing the fruit of the Spirit. I am, right? As I'm running the business. So I'm running the business with more peace and more joy, right? More calm, steadfastness, right? Patience, all of that, right? The world, it's funny, that's the faith aspect. And the world, they call it faith, but really it's belief, right? The world has belief in the universe or belief in themselves, whatever it might be, right? But for us Christians, faith in Christ serves as the very root of our belief as Christians, right? We believe in Christ, and that is the firmest of foundations, something real and substantive, even though we don't see it, right? We know it, right? And so faith in Jesus Christ as Lord is, something you can really ground your belief in. And that faith, that belief, right, allows you to believe even in the impossible dream, right, that you may have for your business. Now, look, not everybody's looking to make $1 million, and that's totally fine. Success is not measured by dollars. I think success is measured by how I work as unto the Lord. How am I impacting people's lives, right? And would he say, well done, good and faithful servant? That's success for me. Whether, you're at the 10K month level or the 50K month level or the 100K level, it's how are you running your business? Is it run in the way that God would approve it? And when you have faith combined with big dreams of big impact, and you really, really believe, and your faith is strong, then even those impossible dreams that seemed impossible yesterday, all of a sudden, they start coming to fruition. Okay. So first was simplify, like focus on simplicity. The second thing I did to experience exponential growth was really go all in on my faith. And frankly, as a part of that too, I am more bold in my faith than ever before, both personally and in my business. So it's been asked of me that, Judy, I see you only work with Christian women. Do you only work with Christian women who have a Christian business like that Christ is part of their brand? And I said, no, not at all. Half of the ladies I work with are bold about their faith in Christ as a part of their business, and half love the Lord. They want to get to know him more and build their business on him, right? On faith in him. But Jesus is not forward facing in their business. So if any of you are wondering that, thought I'd throw that in. Okay. So we're up to number 3. What's another thing that I did to experience truly exponential growth? I'm talking about 6-figure leaps in business, like nearly, just over $500,000. I mean, it was an insane year. I managed my thoughts. Manage your thoughts. Being intentional about what I think about, including what I think about me as a CEO, as a business coach, as a consultant, as a marketing strategist, a sales strategist, right? What do I think about myself? And what do I think about my clients? What do I think about those offers? Do I believe in them? Do I think they work? Right? What do I think about them as I'm putting together? Intentionally thinking about what I'm thinking about as I am doing a social post, as I am, writing an email, As I'm thinking about my master classes, as I'm delivering the master classes, what am I thinking about? Right? It's important. You've got to be thinking right thoughts, Philippians 4:8. You can't be, as we ladies often are, self-deprecating. And as we're talking and delivering this, we look at ourselves in that camera and say, oh my goodness, look at my this, that, and the other. Nobody cares. And we can't, as we draft our email sequence, say, gosh, I wonder if this is going to work. I just don't know. No. We've got to say, I love my best clients. That is who I'm writing to. And I know her. And so this email is going to be received by her. She's going to find it so valuable. I know it. I know it. I know it. I spend my time thinking about right thoughts. I think about my life. How am I living my life? I'm about joyful scaling. Am I walking my talk? Right? Am I experiencing joy? Could I experience more joy? How? You should be asking yourselves these questions as well, right? And even the last thing I'll say about thinking, when we hop on the phone with people, whether it's a collaborative opportunity or whether you are going on a sales conversation, right? What are we thinking about? Are we thinking about, gosh, I can't wait to serve this person and ask some good questions and get them to thinking and help lead them to a decision that is good for them, the best next step for them? Or when you're about to hop on the call, are you having thoughts like, I'm not really into this. She's probably going to say no anyway. I mean, these are important things. And you might think that some of those negative things I just talked about were thoughts only from those getting started. But I know from working with tons of women that are at the six figures and beyond, sometimes those thoughts creep in. What do you do when they do? Right? Do you have a methodology? Do you have a way that you deal with those thoughts that you've got to kick out? Okay. So the 4 things I did to get exponential growth in my business last year: simplify, go all in on my faith, manage my thoughts, and finally develop my own IP, my intellectual property, my own methodology, curating a step-by-step, right? Basically taking what I've already been doing and then simplifying it into my unique process that nobody else, trademark it, of course, that nobody else can copy. Okay. Creating your own methodology, your own pathway, your step-by-step. Have you done that? Have you done that? If you haven't, my question is why? Why not? Look, I know I work with coaches as well as other entrepreneurs. I work with a wide variety from various industries, right? And I know coaches sometimes get excited about those certifications, and that is a credibility marker. Don't get me wrong. And I'm also thinking about some other industries like accounting or ops, and there are all kinds of certifications out there. But, at the end of the day, I don't really want you to tout somebody else's methodology. You can incorporate it into yours, but I would urge you to create your own methodology, right? Curate your own unique way of incorporating maybe those techniques or tools or processes, but make it your own. People buy from people. People, okay, I'm going to use a silly example, but I think it holds true. I'm in my living room right now, and you can see my decor. You can see the American flag. I'm a patriot. Some of you are going to love that. Some of you are going to be like, she's one of those. It's okay. And I know that's what you think about Jesus too. Some of you are going to say, oh my gosh, she's so bold in her face. She claims Christ unapologetically. I want that. And others of you are going to say, oh, she's one of those. But ladies, here's the point. We've got to be authentically who we are. And the more bold I get in totally embracing who God made me to be. As I used to say, warts and all, I am what you see. I am not the kind of coach that, one way before the sale and a different way after the sale. Because to me, it's not about the sale. It's about relationship and true life and business change. So I'd love to hear your comments and thoughts. Which of these 4 ways, these 4 things I did last year that significantly bumped up my revenue and my joy in the business, which of these might you think about looking further into for yourself? I'd love to know. Listen, Valentine's Day is coming up on Monday. I hope and pray that you have a beautiful, relaxing, fun weekend. And I will see you next Thursday for Thriver Thursday Live. Mwah! Love y'all.